Hennessy, come out and play.
This is it, Jennifer. Your big breaking TV.
Yo, what's poppin', Henny? Gang. Bar is open, y'all. I smell a debunking video coming on. Child. Least we not forget, this is Hennessy Reviews.
The prime time.
What's poppin', everybody? Welcome back to the bar. It's your girl, Henny, and I'm about to pour plenty of the hot Henny that y'all love to sip on. So if you are new here, welcome. Please be sure to like, comment, and of course, subscribe. Click that notification bell, select all so that you get notified whenever I do a video. And if you are a returning Mob Down Henny Gang member, yeah. Now let's get into these hot content topics. Okay, so if you were live with me over on my IG live, which by the way, you can follow me, it is the same name, Hennessy Reviews. And if you were in that live, then you know that I told you that I have some hot Henny that I'm about to pour up for you. And if you can tell from the thumbnail on this video, you know that we are going to be talking about the Jigga Man. And no, we are not talking about his son. And no, we are not talking about the Jane Doe Busby conspiracy soap opera Days of Our Lives drama that has been spinning around these internet streets. Oh, nay. We are talking about Jay-Z being caught up in the midst of some lawsuits that have to do with fraud, illegal transactions, and eggs trafficking fundings going on. And they were doing all of this on a very popular app called CashApp. Yes, sir. But I'm not saying that Jay-Z was the one that was doing that, so please don't get my words twisted up and misconstrued. What I'm saying is he is named in the suit because he is on the board of directors along with some other characters. And I also told you that we were going to be doing a Wack 100&Ray J Rico update. Yep, I have updates on both of those Ricos, the Jared Milgram and the Jaren Harrison. So while they're out here running plays and Loose Cannon is out here calling Wack out for fades and all of that. And you know, Aaron the plumber's talking about he about to call the popo. He about to call the popo hole. They need to be worrying about these lawsuits, okay? See, they be in everybody's business but they own. Anyway, and finally, which we might actually start with them just to get, you know, my feet wet. Because, you know, it's been a minute since I've been live with y'all. But we also have real estate tycoon, the Alexander brothers. Okay, it's three of them. And they went from being real estate moguls who were selling high-priced homes and penthouses and all of that to celebrities and people who were wealthy billionaires and all of that stuff in New York and Miami. I was going to say from New York to Miami, but it just mentions them doing real estate, big real estate in New York and Miami, to being residents in Click City. And guess where they are in Click City at? They are in Brooklyn's MDC. I know, they are in the same MDC facility as Diddy. Take that. Oh, wait till you hear what these three brothers have been up to. It is diabolical. It is absolutely atrocious and diabolical. And the reason why I decided to talk about them is because when it's one of us, it always gets like oversaturated, exposed, and it goes viral around everywhere. But when it's one of them, they do the same thing. Well, guess what? We finna talk about it. And we're going to actually start with these brothers. Oh, yes. We're going to jump right on into the brothers because, scandalous. Lord have mercy. It is scandalous out here. Okay. So let's see if we could get a little news.
Court today on sex trafficking charges.
Here we go.
Two luxury real estate brothers who were twins and another sibling all arraigned in federal court today on sex trafficking charges.
Prosecutors say they've spoken to more than 60 alleged victims at this point. Alice Gaynor covers courts and was there today.
Did you hear that? 60 alleged victims. There were 60 women that came forward against these three brothers. 2 of them are twins, and 1 of them is just the sibling. Like, they're all brothers.
Tal, Oren, and Alon Alexander, all in their late 30s, entered the courtroom in prison clothing with their hands cuffed and feet shackled. The brothers pleaded not guilty to sex trafficking charges. Federal prosecutors allege the Alexander brothers worked together and with others to drug, sexually assault, and rape dozens of victims.
Why this ain't go viral? Never mind. Let's continue.
Luring them in, they argue, with the promise of romantic relationships, luxury travel, parties, and events. Tal and Oren were luxury real estate agents in New York City and in Miami. In 2019, Tal gave CBS a tour of this Manhattan penthouse. Alon was an executive for a private security firm owned by the family. Prosecutors previously revealed videos found allegedly show the brothers and others engaged in sexual acts with women who appear under the influence of drugs or alcohol and unaware they were being recorded.
Don't this sound real familiar? Don't this sound real like Diddy-esque? It sounds real Diddy-esque for me. I don't know. Are y'all getting that for yourselves as well? Because that's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing this is the same thing that they have been accusing Diddy of doing as well. Henny Glasses in the chat if I'm not bugging, because I don't think I'm bugging. I think I'm right on time with that. Hold on 1 second. I'm trying to see what I got. If I got what I see. Let me just go ahead and play this for y'all while I look.
On Friday, prosecutors told the judge they intend to file a superseding indictment with additional victims. They say they've interviewed more than 60 women who allege at least one of the brothers raped them. Prosecutors also told the court the discovery is substantial and includes iCloud accounts, Instagram and Facebook accounts, dating apps, laptops, hard drives, and cell phones. An attorney for one of the brothers released a statement that reads, quote, "These charges are an overreach by the government that in no way amount to sex trafficking."
Now, let me just say this. It's 60 women that have come forward and accused them of heinous acts. And it's been spanning for over 2 decades. 2 decades. I'm gonna say that one more time because I don't know if y'all caught what I just said. It's been spanning for 2 decades, okay? And like you just heard, the allegations are of rugging, sexual assault, rape, and abuse of wealth and power. Yes, they have federal eggs trafficking charges, violent rapes, and a pattern of predatory behavior. Okay, that goes back to their teenage years. That means they've been doing this since they were teenagers and they were just getting away with it. Okay, they also are facing multiple civil lawsuits from women across various states, each detailing a horrific, I don't even know what other word to use. I'm just going to stick with horrific. A horrific experience, okay? And based off of what these boys put out there or these men put out there, it goes against the facade. So here we have these men who have this money and this power, right? And they are using that to abuse it. They're using that to abuse people. Like, anyway, their case is a case of power corrupting morale, if that's what we're going to say here. It's about power corrupting morale. There's no other way to put it. So, once again, we're seeing this pattern, and it's not just It's not just one sector, but one sector gets all of the attention for all of this. It's not just Diddy. It's not just Diddy. Okay, that's what people need to know. It's not just Diddy. Anywho, so now let's get into, oh wait, was there one more thing I wanted to show y'all? So now that was CBS News. And as a matter of fact, let me tell y'all when this CBS News, and there's more, but you know, don't want to keep going on their content. This was dropped on February 7th of 2025. We are now on March 17th and nobody has said nothing. It has been mum's the word. Nobody brought it up. Maybe because nobody knows who they are, but it is a pattern of behavior. It speaks to the salaciousness of that fast life with money and power and what happens. But these young men are different because they've been doing this since they were younger. This was also in Vanity Fair on March 10th, which was just 7 days ago. It was in Vanity Fair, and we still have not heard or seen anything at all regarding these young men. So let me see if I could get back to that video and then get it to their picture, because I would like to have their picture on the screen so people know who we talking about when we talking about what we talking about over here, because we about to summarize this stuff up for you, because I can do a complete court doc read if y'all would like for me to do a complete. Why am I frozen? I'm frozen, y'all. Oh, Edna said learned behavior that they, because it's got unfreeze me. It's not unfreezing me. Can y'all hear me? I know. I keep freezing, and it's because this right here is acting up. Okay, you know what? It's okay. Let's just close this out. Let's go here. And let's just get started with the court doc, because I ain't got time to be playing with these devices that want to act up when stuff is getting good. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of that. See? Hello. I told y'all it was the video. It was loading the video and it was messing me up. All right. So here are their court docs, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get them up here on the screen. Okay. Now, I'm not going to be reading the court docs. I told y'all that I will do separate videos reading the court docs for y'all. But let's just say this. If y'all thought real estate was just about $1 million penthouses and flashy deals, I want y'all to think again. Okay. So we getting ready to break this down. So Alon, Oren, and Tal Alexander. Okay. They, like you just heard, they're the faces behind this big real estate business, and one of the brothers was the head of their security firm. Okay, so now, according to the indictment that was filed on December 11th of 2024, which would be, I believe, this document right here, which is document number 3. This is the document that we're talking about right now. The brothers ran an eggs trafficking operation targeting young women and coercing them into providing services for high-profile clients. Again, doesn't this sound familiar? Haven't we heard this before? Didn't somebody else that's sitting in the MDC do this? Child. Anyway, let's continue. Okay. The brothers. Okay. So now they allegedly used money, power, and influence to lure young women and coerce them into providing services for high profile. I'm sorry. You already read that part. They allegedly used their money, promising them exclusive access to luxury parties, career opportunities, and financial rewards. Some women claim that they were rugged and assaulted at events hosted by the Alexander brothers. The government is accusing them of running a criminal enterprise disguised as a high-end real estate business. So basically, the prosecutors are saying these brothers weren't just selling penthouses, they were selling people. They were selling people too, okay? So now on January 28th, let me get y'all to that document. Hold on. Sorry, I said the 28th is January 8th. So now on January 8th, the Alexanders requested bail, right? Offering multi-million-dollar bonds. Now, we just heard this with Diddy too. He offered multi-million-dollar bonds. And they were going to surrender their passports, and they were going to do 24/7 private security. Same thing. The judge denied their request, calling them a flight risk due to their international ties to Israel. They have international ties to Israel, y'all. And their extensive wealth made them the flight risk, okay? And the prosecutors also revealed that new evidence suggests that the brothers had contacts who would help them flee the country. So no, there's no way that they were getting ready to get out. They thought they was gonna go right on the click city, right up in there in the MDC. So now the courts are basically not playing with them. All right, which moves us to here. Hold on. So now that their bail and everything has been revoked, they're stuck in the MDC. Now, they have a trial that's set to begin on January 5th of 2026 in New York, okay? And the next big hearing for them this year will be in July of 2025. And during that time, it'll be pre-trial motions, and the evidence will be argued, and the prosecutors, well, they're still collecting evidence, and they may add more charges before the trial, okay? So this is where we are right now with them on this court document. This is where they were committed. And let me get over here. Those are like their sentencing minutes. So this is where you see their court date. So their court date is Monday, January 5th, 2026 at 10 a.m. Pre-trial motions will be Tuesday, May 20th of 2025. Responses to any pre-trial motions are due by Friday, June 20th of 2025. All right. And it says that they, if a hearing is necessary to determine any pretrial motions, the hearing will take place on July 15th of 2025. All of their papers are due by June 27th of this year. So they have until June 27th to file all their motions and paperwork to get it in, and then they will move forward. Okay. Let's see. That's all about the paperwork. So now let me go back because I want to read just a little bit of the actual case to y'all from this document right here. And this is the background, but we're going to statutory allegations. Okay, so I guess we're going to have to go through the first two. Let's read the background, okay? Because as you can see, there's an overview, there's a background, but there is no actual facts. And, you know, that's where we like to go to. All right. So it says Elan Alexander, Orion Alexander, and Tal Alexander, the defendants, are brothers. Elan, Orion, and Tal is approximately 1 year older. Elan and Orion are the twins, and Alal is approximately 1 year older than him. Okay. At all times relevant to this indictment, Orion Alexander and Tal were the real estate agents who focused on ultra luxury markets in New York City, Miami, Florida, and other locations. Since at least in or around 2012, Elan Alexander has been an executive of a private security firm owned and operated by his family. Starting in at least in or about 2010, Alan, Oren, and Tal, the defendants, and others known and unknown, operated a long-running eggs trafficking scheme as part of which they raped and sexually assaulted women to whom they had provided material benefits, including domestic and international travel to vacation destinations, luxury accommodations at high-end hotels and vacation properties, and access to other luxury experiences and events. The Alexander Brothers scheme was based in, among other places, Manhattan, New York, and Miami, Florida, where the defendants maintained residence and where their businesses were based. Y'all hear this? I know y'all hear this. Let me go ahead and do this so I can stop looking over my shoulder. Okay. To carry out and facilitate their eggs trafficking scheme, Alan, Oren, and Tal, the defendants, used deception, fraud, and coercion to cause victims to travel with them or meet them in private locations. Therefore, the Alexander brothers used various methods, included rugging the victims, at times physical force, to rape and sexually assault the victims, sometimes alone and sometimes together. Yeah. In particular, the defendants used the following means and methods, among others, to carry out their eggs trafficking scheme. The Alexander brothers used their wealth and positions to create and facilitate opportunities to rape and sexually assault women. In particular, on multiple occasions, Oren and Tal used their prominent positions in the real estate industry to induce other women to attend events and parties and to meet other women at those events and parties whom one or more of the defendants later sexually assaulted. So they would have these real estate parties, right? And, little shindigs. Everybody there's got a little money. They got a little change, got a little cheddar. This person is probably looking for a rental property or something to buy. And instead of them getting the property, they get invited to this party. Unbeknownst to them, they're targeted. And they end up getting assaulted. Okay, the Alexander brothers worked together and with other men to arrange events and domestic and international trips. They used as bait to recruit, entice, harbor, transport, and maintain multiple women. During the events and trips, the defendants frequently raped and sexually assaulted the women they enticed and attended. They enticed to attend. At times, the Alexander brothers used social connections or the guise of starting a relationship to lure and entice women to meet with one or more of them at a public place or group event, or to travel to meet one or more of the defendants. On multiple occasions, the defendants, alone or together, then sexually assaulted the women, sometimes within hours of their meeting. Immediately following the sexual assault, the defendants sometimes offered the victims material items, including travel, concert tickets, and other luxury experiences. Some trips and events were organized by the Alexander brothers well in advance, and involved domestic and international traveling. The Alexander brothers worked together and with others to recruit women to attend these events and trips. The defendants, at times with others, shared photographs of women to select those they found sufficiently attractive to invite. The defendants and other men organizing the trip then contacted the women, including through social media or dating applications, and induced the women to attend by, among other things, offering to purchase their flights, making other travel arrangements, and or providing accommodations without charge. So somebody is offering you a free trip and you don't know them. I don't know. I'm not going. If I don't know people, I'm not going. Like, I'm not. First of all, even if I'm dating you, if I don't know you, I'm not going out the country with you. I'm not even going out the state with you, let alone the country. I don't give a damn. I don't know. I don't trust people. Maybe that's just why. Maybe because I don't trust people. Oh, let me show y'all my shirt real quick. For all of those that kept saying, this is men business. Stay out of men business. Yes, I'm a passenger princess today. Anywho, anywho, I'm not going out the country with no randos. And I've always been leery. Like when a dude invites you somewhere and it's him and he's got 2 friends with him, girl, you still going? No, I'm not going. I will pull that, what is that? The Mean Girls, where she was like, I'm sick. Yeah, no, I'm not going. And I'm not victim blaming. I'm just raising awareness. Like, be more aware. Be more aware, ladies, because you done tricked you out. In addition to inviting women to their events directly, the Alexander brothers worked with party promoters to arrange for women to attend events or travel with them in order to ensure that there were a sufficient number of women present. Some occasions after the women accepted the invitation to attend a particular event, the Alexander brothers transported women and caused women to be transported across state lines and international lines. And this is where you get into the trafficking part, because you're crossing over state lines, you're crossing over the country. You moving about the country, and bing, you are on international flights. The defendants and other men attending the trips pooled financial resources in order to pay for flights and other travel expenses for the women. So pause. It's not just them. There's other people that are involved in this too, that are putting their money together. So imagine you have a group of men that are together and that they are putting their money together to be able to egg traffic women. What are we talking about here? This is a whole network. This is a whole, this is what they do. In advance to the events, the Alexander brothers and others procured rugs that how far are we? We're 26 minutes in. Okay. Procured drugs that they agreed to provide to the women, including, among other things, cocaine, mushrooms, and GHB. And if you don't know what GHB is the date grape drug. Okay. On multiple occasions during these events and trips, the Alexander brothers and others surreptitiously drugged the women's drinks. Some of the victims experienced symptoms of impaired physical and mental capacity, including limitation of movement and speech, and incomplete memories of events. And I can tell you from experience that those incomplete memories never come back. All right. The Alexander brothers, sometimes acting alone, sometimes with others, and sometimes with other men, forcibly raped and sexually assaulted their victims. At times, the defendants physically restrained and held down their victims during these rapes and sexual assaults and ignored screams and explicit requests to stop. The agreement between the Alexander brothers encompassed numerous other acts of sexual violence in addition to sexual assault during planned trips and events. On numerous occasions, the Alexander brothers drugged and raped or sexually assaulted women they encountered by chance, including women that they met at bars and nightclubs, social events, and dating applications. The Alexander brothers similarly carried out these rapes and sexual assaults by, among other things, drugging and incapacitating victims, taking victims to isolated locations, physically restraining victims while raping and sexually assaulting them alone, together, or with other men, and ignoring the victim's explicit demands to stop. So, I know what y'all about to ask me for. Let me see what y'all was saying while I was. Okay, y'all was saying that y'all can hear me. Okay, so Uniquely says, how come we just hearing about them? Who's railroading them? Child, I don't know why we just hearing about them, because I told y'all this broke on the news back in February, and then it was in Vanity Fair 7 days ago, and nobody has said anything about this at all. I have not seen nothing. I looked, I didn't see nothing. So I said, you know what? We always talking about our celebrities and what they doing and all of that. Let's look into some other areas of things and see what it is that we could actually find that's out there, that it shows that we ain't these monsters. Like, hey, Ace. Hey, everybody that's coming in. So it's like, well, now you know what's going to happen. You know that when this live is over, I'm going to chop this up, make it a video, and then I'm going to make me some shorts and clips, and I'm going to post them. And when I put these shorts and clips out there, y'all tag the big bloggers and get them involved in this, because this needs to be heard. You know, for me, the disturbing part of this story right here with the Alexander brothers. Wait, where was this at? New York, Miami, international. Like it was happening everywhere. Thank you for the Cash App. It was happening everywhere. I'm not going to the store with someone I don't know. I know that's right. Bing, they making a movie about you. Where's the movie is what I want to know. Absolutely, it was a ring. This sounds just like Nightmare on Diddy Street. Okay. Now, you know, a lot of people, including myself, has said that the things that he was doing was learned behavior. I think that's the most, like, this has a lot of disturbing moments to it, okay? And for me, another disturbing part about this is they said it goes back to their teenage years. So they're in their 30s now. So they were doing this since a teenager. So they've been getting away with it. And because they've been doing it since they were teenagers, yes, they are currently in jail for this. They are sitting in Brooklyn's MDC right over there with Diddy. They sure are. They're sitting right up in there with Diddy. Huh. And they ain't letting them out neither. Okay. They said the same thing they said about Diddy is the same thing they said about these boys right here, these men right here. I keep calling them boys. Those are men. Okay. They got away with it when they were teenagers, so it created a level of comfortability with them. Now they have ties to what the hell did I say? They have ties to another country. So because of the ties that they have to another country is why they were not allowed out. Hold on one second. Let me just get back to where I was so I could tell you, because y'all know I have my little notes. Okay. Ain't nothing wrong with the little notes. That would help them flee the country. Israel. They have ties to Israel. They have ties to Israel. I'm not on that right now, but I will check when I get off. Yep. Why this whole thing remind me of Andrew Tate and his brother's case? I don't know. I heard about them a couple of months ago on the news. Yeah, on the news. But I heard about them on the news they was on the news back in February. But nobody's talking about it. So I said we was going to talk about it. That's what I said. I said we finna talk about it over here. But anyway, if you are on the replay gang, y'all let me know what y'all think about this in the comments, okay? Because, you know, we over here, we live and we talking about it and we getting it down. But to summarize everything up before we close out this portion, the Alexander brothers are accused of using their real estate businesses as a front for trafficking and illegal activities. The feds aren't playing with them, okay? They denied their bail, and they're preparing for a major trial, which we will be keeping up with. And if these three brothers are convicted, they're facing life in prison, okay? So let me know what y'all think. Like, do y'all think they're guilty, or are the feds just after rich men with power? Because, you know, that's something that we keep hearing. It's going after these men with power. whatever. But if you want a replay, gang, let me know what y'all think in the comment section here right now. Y'all can let me know what y'all think as well. But we are getting ready to move it right on along to the next piece of content that I know y'all are going to be here for. Y'all are here for this. Do I want to start with Jaren or do I want to start with Jared? Because I think we're going to start with Jaren. So let's start with Jaren Harrison versus Ray J and Wack 100, the Rico boys. Y'all know that's what we call them over here. Because even though Wack is quick to call out, it's a civil Rico. It's a federal civil Rico. As Smoked Out calls him Deadpool skin. So let me give y'all a little brief history on what's been going on with this case. This is not the document that I want, so let me get the document that I want up here, okay? Because we're going to go through some of these documents. I'm going to put this one up here so that we have something on the screen, okay? We're not just over here with nothing on the screen. So now, if you don't remember this case right here, Jaren Harrison is the one that is accusing the Rico boys of running a cyber stalking operation, stealing his business contracts, and using hackers from Clubhouse to sabotage his career. Y'all remember that? He ended up homeless. This is Jaren. This is Jaren, not to be confused with Jared, and we will get into Jared Milgram right after this one, okay? So now, Jaren Harrison. Let me get some music too. If you don't recall all of the details of this case, it's fine because, like I said, we're going to go through it. But one of the major factors that you guys have to remember about this case is that the one I want? No, I want that one. I like that music. I don't know why. All right. So he's the one that wants $40 million. And he's asking for this 40 mil in a default judgment that is on the table, and the court is demanding answers. Okay. So Jaren Harrison filed his claim against Ray J, Wack 100, Sonya, and multiple other companies alleging fraud, hacking, cyber stalking, bullying, and stolen contracts, y'all. But now, in a twist of events, the defendant has responded to the court's request for evidence and admissions. All right. We have the document. All right. Now, the first major filing in this case, it first started back in September 18th of 2024 when Jaren Harrison filed his amended complaint to the United States District Court of the Eastern District of Michigan. And let me just stop sharing this for one. Oh, I didn't have to stop sharing. I could have just pulled it up. But anyway, let me just go ahead and go over here. And let me pull up the YouTube so that you guys can see that I have been following this for a minute now. I have a whole playlist on my channel that if you need to catch up on anything, you'll be able to do so. Give me 1 second. I'm going to get that up on the screen so that y'all can see exactly where that playlist is, because not everybody knows how to get to the playlist on here, and I'm going to walk y'all through it. So boom, here we go. So this is my channel right here. As y'all can see, you're going to head over to the playlist, right? And then what you're going to do is you're going to scroll down till you see this playlist right here, Ray J and Wack 100 Federal Rico case. So this is the playlist, and this playlist,
and get Facebook to pull.
This playlist has all of the videos that were done. They had the original Jared Milgram case that I broke down with Damu Kiwe Conversations. But we have all of it going all the way up. Even this video, when I chop it up, it will go into this playlist right here. But as y'all can see, I have been following these cases. Okay, your girl has been on her job. Yes, give it up to me. Anyway, let's keep going. So he filed in September 18th of 2024, right? So what he was alleging is that Ray J and Wack and other people along with Sonia Norwood. He accused them of hacking his devices and stealing his business contracts. He accused them of launching a smear campaign against him that ruined his reputation, y'all. All right. Defrauding him out of at least $50,000 from a business deal, orchestrating an online and real world harassment campaign, which we see them doing right now as we speak. They are always launching online and real life harassment campaigns. So are his allegations that far off, y'all? I don't think so. I don't think so. Anyway, he also accused them of using cyber stalking and digital bullying to publicly humiliate him, because if you remember, he said that they had people following him and they were taking pictures of him while he was sleeping outside because he allegedly went homeless from this, right? But one of the biggest claims in this case is that Wack 100, I'm going to say allegedly, but we know that he has connections to hackers and all types of stuff because he's admitted that, right? But I'm going to say allegedly for the channel that he allegedly used private clubhouse rooms to coordinate hacking efforts against Jaren. Okay. So according to Jaren, he said that Wack 100 controlled multiple clubhouse rooms where hackers, doxers, and online trolls gathered, which we know is true. And he said in these rooms were used to plan cyber attacks against specific targets, including Jaren. Okay. That the hackers accessed Jaren's phone, emails, and his online business accounts, because remember, they sent the girl Minty in there from the glitch, and she targeted Jaren and got close to him, and she was able to get, I guess, so close to him that she got into his devices and was able to hack it. Okay. Once inside, they stole his contracts, they redirected business deals, and locked him out of his own platforms. All right. So this wasn't just online harassment. All right. He's saying that these actions like financially ruined him. All right. He also claimed that his business was sabotaged by the Rico boys, okay, to steal lucrative deals. So they were stealing business from him. Now he says that the emails with potential investors and business partners were intercepted. Confidential contracts were leaked to competitors, linked to Ray J and Wack. Suspicious, very suspicious. Okay, business opportunities were allegedly stolen and rerouted through companies connected to the Rico boys. Okay, and one of the biggest claims is that this operation was designed to eliminate Jaren from the industry while Wack and Ray J profited from his work. Doesn't that sound like what was done to Jared Milgram? Y'all gotta excuse me because the Jared, and I gotta get it together. So on December 20th of 2024, Jared filed his motion for default judgment against Ray J and Wack, stating that they failed to properly serve him with his legal response by November 25th of 2024. And if you remember, we did go over this because that's where he was saying that even the clerk was messing with the amounts, because his lawsuit said 40 million and it was changed to 4,000, then changed to 4 million, but his suit has been $40 million. They were also trying to say that because they submitted their court documents online to Pacer that he was served, but that's not how this goes. They have to submit, but they also have to mail it to him, and he did not receive those mailings in time, so he was filing for a default judgment. But whacking them on February 27th of 2025, there was, well, actually no, yeah, they filed for a request for evidence and admissions. Okay, so after the court demanded the evidence from Jaren. Okay, so the court demanded evidence and admissions from Ray J and Wack 100 and their legal team. They finally responded on February 27th. Okay, the key details in their response was that they denied all accusations of hacking, of course. They denied all accusations of cyber stalking. They denied all accusations of stealing contracts. They claimed that there was no organized effort on Clubhouse to target Jaren. They insisted that all business dealings were legal and there was no contracts that were stolen. And they suggested that Jaren's financial struggles were due to his own mismanagement, not interference from them. But of course, they're not going to go in there like, I don't know, like people be like, oh, they denied it. Of course, they're going to deny it. They're supposed to deny it. Like nobody's going to go into court and say, yeah, we did this. Especially when there's $40 million that they don't have on the line. I'm just saying. So there were also some things that were done that exposed them. All right. So while they thought they gave this good little explanation and breakdown on everything that was happening, there were some things that happened that exposed them. And these were called glaring gaps. All right. They did not provide solid proof that they never hacked Jaren. And they did not explain why multiple business deals fell apart right after Jaren lost access to his account. They did not account for why his confidential business email ended up with competing companies. And they did not deny that they had access to hacker networks. They never denied those claims, y'all. So by failing to provide hard evidence, the defense might have left gaps that could work against them. And if Jaren Harrison can prove the hackers linked to Wack, that they're linked to Wack through Clubhouse rooms and that they were involved, this could completely destroy Ray J and Wack. And if you know, like I know, Wack talks too damn much. He doesn't know when to shut up. He doesn't know when to shut up. So I'm quite sure if Jaren has been doing his due diligence, that he will find some type of evidence that is out there that connects them together. I mean, Jared Milgram has a whole file of stuff. Maybe Jaren and Jared need to get together, and maybe Jared has some evidence that Jaren can use in his case. I'm just saying. So where are we with this case now? Well, Jaren is refiling for his default judgment. So guess what that means? Oh, I shouldn't have switched documents so quickly. Jaren is filing for his default judgment. So that means that if the judge comes back and the judge deems that he has provided sufficient information, he can rule in Jaren's favor in the default, and Jaren could end up with $40 million. Well, that's where it starts at. Let's just talk about that for a second. Just because somebody asks for $40 million doesn't mean they're going to get $40 million. That is just the starting point of negotiations. So they're going to start with the negotiation at $40 million, or maybe he might just get awarded $40 million. Who knows? But that's usually the starting point. And then they start negotiating, and there's a possibility that he can still walk away with a nice piece of change. Even if he gets 20 million or 10 million, that's still going to break their pockets. I'm just saying it's going to break their pockets. So she said if they have it, Wack will just start shuffling money around. Okay, see, CJ, shout out to you, because you'll be paying attention to all of the videos. You really be paying attention, girl, because you know that's what he gonna do. He gonna start funneling that money through them shell companies again. But again, for y'all that are on the replay gang that are gonna catch this, tell us what y'all think. Did the Rico boys just expose themselves with a weak defense? Or will the court rule in their favor despite the hacking allegations? Let me know what y'all think. Y'all also let me know what y'all think on the live as we pull up to the next court doc. Because baby, we rocking and rolling today. We rocking and we rolling today. So this is the one that everybody has buzzed about for a very long time, and this is Jaren Milgram. Shout out to Jaren Milgram, because Jared saw when the videos went extremely viral. They went viral, and he caught wind of that. So he knows that these cases are being covered. Jared, if you watching, I would love to sit down and have a conversation with you. And it sure would. Anyway, just in case, for those of y'all who don't know, again, y'all can go into that playlist and y'all can watch it. But this case right here with Jared Milgram versus Ray J and Wack and Sonya and Raytronics and Ray. Oh, you know what? I forgot to tell y'all. Jaren is suing Tronics Network. I forgot to tell y'all because we've been asking about Tronics Network. Jaren is suing Tronics Network too. So it'd be interesting to see what happens. But now you've got Raycon, Raytronics, all of that over here, but you don't have Tronics Network in this case. All right. And this is the case of Jared Milgram versus the Rico boys and Sonya Norwood. Okay. His original claims were for breach of oral agreement. And he accused Ray J, Sonya, and Wack of copyright infringement and emotional distress. But most importantly, he said that Wack 100 threatened him to make him walk away from his rightful ownership of the 1% that Ray J promised him, right? And I've played that recording. So if you've been on these videos and keeping up with everything that we've been doing, then you know that I've already played the recording of Wack threatening Jared. And what he said is that they're not going to give some effing derogatory word for a white person. That's what he said. 1% of their company for taking pictures and doing social media posts. Okay. He'd make it his business to destroy Jared. And he would do it to the best of his ability. And Wack said he has connections across the globe. And he don't have to unalive nobody. They just gonna do it because that's what they feel they told to do. And he told Jared, no more Ray J business. So you know what that means? That connected Wack directly to Ray J. And Jared was smart enough to to record that audio of Wack saying that. So now, and Jared filed an opposition of the motion to dismiss that was filed on February 13th of 2025. Now, before we get to there, let me just back y'all up a little bit and let me tell y'all what was going on with Jared. Because remember, after we broke it, we didn't hear anything from Jared for a long time. Well, it turned out that Jared was being falsely imprisoned, allegedly. And he has a lawsuit going against the police department in Ventura County. I believe that's where it is. I never got into that case, but he ended up having to handwrite his legal documents with a pencil and paper to the courts, explaining to them that he was falsely being held and that he was unable to fight his case, so that he had missed the court case, and he asked them to reopen it. They did reopen it, and now after all of this that is going on, he filed a motion. He filed an opposition to the motion to dismiss. That's what that handwritten note was. And then on February 21st, Wack and them filed a motion to dismiss again on February 21st. But on February 27th, wait, let me back up because I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay. February 21st is when Ray J and them went against what he had put into court. Okay, so I can't even do it that way because I'm trying to like skip through it without giving y'all everything. Breathe, Henny. I'm a little nervous. All right, so the 10 million default judgment battle, February 10th, 2025. All right, so Jared made a move in court and filed a default judgment against Ray J and Wack and them, demanding $10 million in damages for breach of contract, fraud, and emotional distress. Now, remember, Jared is suing them for $40 million. Jared is suing them for $10 million, okay? He's also suing them for punitive damages, and because of the threats, he's also doing statutory damages for copyright infringement as well, all right? Then we get to February 13th of 2025, where there is an opposition to a motion to dismiss. All right. In Jared's opposition of the motion to dismiss, he presented the recording of Wack 100 directly threatening him on the phone. Okay. So it's in evidence. Okay. And if the court accepts the recording, it proves intimidation, which can override the statute of limitations, because Ray J and them were saying that he couldn't, they should just dismiss this because of the statute of limitations on it. It has expired, that an oral contract, there's no proof of a contract at all that was had. Like they were saying there was no promise. Okay. Let me go back to what they said. They said, yeah, that's what they said. That there was no oral contract and the statute of limitations had expired. And Jared was saying basically, no, this man threatened me. So with him threatening me, that means that there is no limitation of statute where I can file and when I can file, because he scared me into not wanting to do my case anymore. Okay. So now with him submitting the court, there it is. Okay, so the courts have ruled when he submitted this recording, right? I'm sorry, y'all, because my notes are a little jumbled. I should have did better. But anyway, when he submitted the recording to the courts, it directly linked Wack to Ray J, like I had said to y'all. And in the past, it shows the courts that there is coercion, threats, and it can delay legal deadlines. So that means that Jared's lawsuit could still be valid even if the alleged contract was breached years ago. All right. So when he submitted this, all right, when he submitted the recording, that changed everything, because now they actually have the proof that he was threatened. So it looks to me like Jared may end up actually winning his lawsuit if the courts say, okay, we're gonna let it ride. So what happened on February 27th, which is the last document that we have here, which is the actual, well, we have two updates. There's February 27th, there was an order to strike, okay? And the court struck down one of the defense's attempts to oppose default. So Jared once again had filed for a default judgment, right? And now the courts has said they struck it down. So that means that the courts acknowledged that Ray J and them failed to respond in time. It left the door open for Jared's defense judgment, default judgment, to move forward. And that means that, again, the recording is in evidence. All right. So now there was also on March 12th, this was the last thing, where they filed a motion to set aside a default. All right. So now Ray J and them, they're in serious trouble. Okay, because when they failed to respond to the lawsuit, the court entered the default against them. But now they're trying to scramble to undo it, and they claim that they never properly got served. That's where we were with Jared, where they were saying that they never properly got served. The same thing that they were saying in the Jaren Harrison case, where they were like, oh, we didn't properly get served. Okay, they argued that Jared's claims were weak. They pointed out that he has a mental health history, and that was all done in an attempt to discredit him. Okay. But the court has already entered the default against Ray J, Wack, Sonia, and all of the companies. Okay. And if the judge believes the recording proves intimidation, they might not be able to escape the default. Okay. The recording undermines their credibility. They claim no threats were made, but there's a clear recording of it. And if the judge agrees that threats prevented Jared from filing sooner, his claims stay in the court and the case moves forward. So Jared is definitely coming for that 10 mil. Okay. And he's armed with that recording that could prove intimidation and fraud. All right. Ray J and them are fighting to escape this lawsuit, but their defenses are crumbling. Do you hear me? The judge now has to decide, will the recording be enough to keep this case alive and push it to trial, or will he give Jared the default judgment? Tronics is a part of his business. He's suing everything. Jaren Jaren is trying to take everything. Hey, Hattie B. Wonder if it will go anywhere if your lawsuit is against a CI, allegedly. Why is it that when people claim to have lawyers like they are all that, their lawyers don't know anything? Well, you have to also remember that they also do ploy tactics, okay? They do a lot of ploy tactics. They do a lot of stalling as well. They do a hell of a lot of stalling. And we've seen them do it. We freaking watched as academics has stalled out in court cases and all of that. Swooping in at the last minute and all that other craziness. Like, it's just what they're doing to play a game. And hopefully, the person gets tired and they don't want to fight anymore. And that's what they're going for. If you ask me, that's what they're going for. And I just really hope that that doesn't end up happening. Okay. But if you on the replay game, let me know what y'all think down in the comment section below. Do you think Jared will get his default judgment? Or do you think that this is going to end up stretching out even more? Because remember, this case started a long time ago. Anywho, we going to keep it schmoving. How we keep it schmoving, and we're gonna get into the next one, which is the coup de grace of it all. And you know what I've noticed, and I'm gonna say this so that everybody can see it for themselves. Have y'all noticed that whenever I talk about this particular mogul, that my views and everything be low on those videos? Like the last time I did a video on Jay-Z, I was talking about the Jane Doe case. That video only got 200 views. And y'all see what them numbers is looking like right now. Every time I talk about Jay-Z, I think Rock Nation has some type of something in the algorithm. I don't know. Because I see other people's channels not get those low ratings. Maybe I'm just not in the algorithm, or maybe it's a conspiracy. We're popping to that. She need to put her tinfoil kufi on. Because I think it's a conspiracy. Anyway, so I know y'all want to know about what is going on with Jay-Z, because this case has nothing to do with his child, or alleged son, excuse me. So Jay-Z and Jack Dorsey, co-founder of Twitter, and Jack Dorsey is also the CEO of Block Inc. We getting into it. We getting into it of Block. And they're caught up in a courtroom battle over a massive business deal gone sour, guys. So Jay-Z and Jack Dorsey partnered up with a high profile deal with the Dorsey's company Block. Okay, he acquired Jay-Z's title for a cool $300 million, but now the legal smoke is thick because Block's employees are accusing Dorsey of favoring Jay-Z over them, saying the deal was shady and it left them with less ownership in the company than they deserved. Meanwhile, investors are taking legal actions, claiming that Dorsey and his board acted recklessly by prioritizing Jay-Z instead of their financial interest. And let's not forget that CashApp is involved with Block. And now, Jay-Z himself is being dragged into the fire with the claims that his role in the company and the deals, they weren't transparent. Because they're supposed to be transparent with stuff like that. They weren't being transparent. Okay. So now we gonna get into this Jay-Z case. Now, if you're looking at the screen, you see that this says November 15th of 2023. This has been going on for a while. Okay. And Jack Dorsey, blocked the board because he was being sued by the board to win the appeal of the Jay-Z deal litigation. So let's get into it. All right. So in 2021, Jay-Z partnered with Jack Dorsey. okay, to sell the majority stake of title to Block Inc. All right. He also joined Block's board of directors. Jay-Z, that is, joined Block's board of directors, right? So now fast forward to what's going on right this second. There's 2 lawsuits that have dropped claiming that the whole deal was shady as hell and that Jay-Z is one of the named defendants in this case. All right. So Block Inc. allegedly facilitated fraud. Let me get to the case for y'all. Okay. This is the case right here. Right there. And for those who want to say he ain't named, he right there. Sean Carter. Okay. All right. So they accused them of fraud, facilitated fraud, money laundering, and even illegal transactions through CashApp and Square. Now, for those of y'all who was paying the Bud Man through Square and CashApp, y'all did this. All right. But Jay-Z, as a board member, they're alleging was aware and that he ignored all the red flags of this going on. Okay. So the lawsuit says that the illegal activities were rampant, including money laundering, child exploitation, eggs trafficking, drug sales, and even terrorism financing. This was all going on Cash App. Child, I know that something was going on because I sent some money one time to somebody and put the person's name in the name tag, and the name was like the same name as something like Cuba or something like that. I don't know. I'm just saying a name. And they was like, I had to verify the transaction and all of this. And this was last year. But anyway, we're going to start with the Donald Wallace case. We're going to start here. So this is brought up by Donald Wallace, the first case, because there's 2 of them. There's 2 of them. There's 2 of them. There's 2 of them. This one right here is a class action lawsuit. Okay. And the reason why you see his name right here again, his name is right here. So you can't say Henny's lying. His name is right there. Okay. So in this class action lawsuit, the shareholders are coming for all of them. Okay. In this lawsuit, it claims that Jay-Z and other executives knew Block Inc. had compliance issues, but didn't do anything. All right. It also alleges that they lied to shareholders about their anti-money laundering policies. And Block's stock dropped 77% because of all the drama that was going on with it. Meaning that all of these people that are in this lawsuit, this class action lawsuit, lost a lot of money. Do you hear me? And you know, when people start losing money, people start to get to suing. Okay. Now, Jay-Z wasn't just a celebrity partner. Okay. He was on the board. You've got to understand that he was on the board. That means that he had a say in how Block as a company was run. Okay. The lawsuit claims that Jay-Z knew Cash App was being used for some illegal shit, but didn't push for better compliance. So my thing is, I don't know how he would know. I'm not in that side of business, but these shareholders are saying he knew, and he did absolutely nothing about it. Okay, it's saying that he was paid $300,000 a year as a board member just for his seat. Plus he was given stock benefits. And that's the thing that those people was complaining about right there. All right. So Block, the allegations are that Block failed to conduct basic due diligence on its customers and that they allowed illegal activity to flourish. All right. Now, Jay-Z may not be the main culprit, but as a board member, he was legally responsible for making sure Block ran right. Okay. And this lawsuit says that he failed to do that. That's what all of this is. Okay. So we're going to read a little bit of this lawsuit. The nature of the action, it says this is a stockholder derivative action brought by plaintiff, a stockholder of Block on behalf. Am I sharing this? I'm not sharing it. Oh, sorry, y'all. All right. All right. It says that on behalf of the company against the defendants, this action alleges breach of fiduciary duty by the board and senior executive officers occurring from at least February 26th of 2020 to April 30th of 2024. During that time, the defendants caused or allowed Block to issue or make materially false and misleading statements concerning the company's financial condition and business operations. During February 26th, between February 26, 2020 and April 30th of 2024, defendants claimed that Block had implemented an anti-money laundering and AML program designed to prevent our payment network from being used to facilitate money laundering, terroristic financing, and other illicit activities. Now, let me do this. What are you talking about? Okay. All right. So, defendants also stated that this compliance program was designed to prevent Block's network from being used to facilitate business in countries or with persons or entities included on designated lists promulgated by the U.S. Department of Treasury or of foreign assets controls and equivalent applicable foreign authorities. So basically, he's saying that they're saying that what they did was they did not comply with not allowing countries who are on this list to not be able to use the app. They allowed them to use the app. Okay. So defendants touted Block's policy procedures, reporting protocols, and internal controls, including the designation of an AML compliance officer and its vetting and monitoring of the transactions on Block's platform, which defendants claim address the company's legal and regulatory requirements and were designed to assist in managing risks associated with money laundering and terroristic financing. CashApp was money laundering, y'all. These and similar representations made by defendants are materially false and misleading. In actuality, Block failed to implement even basic due diligence and know your customer protocols, effectively creating a sanctuary for criminal activities on its Square and CashApp platforms. As a result, numerous illegal activities proliferated on Block's products. Namely, company customers used Block products to engage in money laundering, child eggs abuse, eggs trafficking, drug trafficking, terroristic financing, contract unalivings, and illicit payments to entities and persons subject to economic sanctions. Now, wait a minute. How you know all of this was going on, sir? How do you know? Block failed to report thousands of suspicious transactions to regulatory authorities, permitted customers subject to sanctions alerts to complete transactions before the alerts were resolved, and failed to screen customer biographies against sanctions keyword list. So there's a list that these countries, you're not allowed to do business with them. But apparently they dropped the ball on making sure that they were not doing business on CashApp and Square, but they were still doing business on CashApp and Square and giving them a heads up to hurry up and complete the transaction before it rang the alarm on them. Child, you want to say that Jay-Z was sitting up here doing this? Now, this one, I'm sorry, y'all. I get what they're saying, that as a member of the board, that he was supposed to, he had some type of obligation to make sure that the company was safe. But never mind. Former employees later revealed that defendants failed to take remedial measures even after senior Block leadership was alerted to these shortfalls, despite numerous red flags, which led to multiple whistleblower complaints and probes by regulators. As a result of defendants' wrongful acts and omission, the market value of Block Class A common stock dropped 77% to a low of less than $66 per share from its peak of over $289 per share, and investors suffered significant financial losses and economical damages. Now let's stop right there. I can read on, but let's stop right there and let's just highlight this part right here. Okay? And investors suffered significant financial losses and economical damages. So you're telling me that this was going on for a very long time and whistleblowers were blowing the whistle on all of this, right? But y'all allowed it to continue on. But now the way it's coming off to me, oh, we done lost a whole lot of money. And now that we done lost a whole lot of money, we about to sue to get our money back. We're not even really like, you're not even really, are you really suing for this reason? Is this really the reason why this lawsuit is here? And is that really why you have Jay-Z listed above not above Jack Dorsey in the complaint, but is this why this lawsuit is? Let me show y'all something really quickly that I came across when I was looking this up. When all of this was going on, back when the lawsuit first happened in 2023, in 2024, Black Enterprise wrote an article on this and said that Block staff purportedly told not to mention Jay-Z in company communications. Staff has been given stern warnings from management that there should be no mention of Jay-Z. Say what? So they were not allowed to mention his name. I wouldn't mention his name either if I was them. I'm just saying, I wouldn't mention their name. I wouldn't mention his name either. Oh, this is the wrong one. Hold on, y'all. I could actually start closing some of these down once I've already covered them. Hold on. Oh, damn. I didn't mean to do that. Hold on, because I'm about to get it back up on the screen for y'all. Don't yell at me. Don't yell at me. I can hear y'all. Don't yell at me. Okay, I don't like it when y'all yell at me. I'm covering part of the document, but I'm also scrolling. I'm also scrolling, so you can see when I'm scrolling. Right? Yes, this is what I'm saying. How do you know? How do you know that all of that was going on? Well, guess what? This is not the only lawsuit that has come. That is just the class action lawsuit, okay? So let me tell y'all what blew this all out the water, okay? So what blew all of this out of the water was back on March of 2023, a company called Hindenburg Research released an explosive report exposing Block, okay? They basically said that Block's entire business was shady and CashApp was full of fake accounts, scammers, and even criminals. Now, let me get y'all to the court document because now we got to go into the second lawsuit. This lawsuit right here. This is the lawsuit. We just gonna call him Mr. Patel because I don't know. Viraj Patel, I believe Patel is his name. Let me get this on the screen so y'all can see it too. Hold on. Boom. Viraj Patel. Okay. Now, this was filed on 2/5 of 2025. When was that other one filed? Let me just go back over here real quick. This was filed on 3/4. So actually we should have went the way that I was going to go. We should have went that way, but I went this way instead. Whatever. We still getting the court docs out. I may just sit and do a recorded video of these by themselves. Because I'm a little rusty today, y'all. I'm just a little rusty. Anyway. All right. So let me get to that part of the document, y'all. Is it in here? Okay, so now basically what they saying is that CashApp is full of criminals, okay? And in 2024, whistleblowers actually stepped forward and said that Block was letting criminals move money through their system with little to no oversight. All right. Now that came from the Hindenburg report. As a result, Block is now under investigation by the Securities and Exchange Commission, the SEC. Okay, the SEC and the Department of DOJ. The DOJ is after them too. Okay, Block stock, I told y'all it went from $289 to less than $66, and that it dropped 77%. All right. So Jay-Z's lawyers are saying that he ain't got nothing to do with this. They say he ain't got nothing to do with this. But the lawyers are looking for damages, meaning that they want him and other, the lawsuits, are looking for damages. They want him and other board members to pay, okay? They took a loss, he got to pay up, okay? And if this case keeps going, Jay-Z may have to testify under oath. And if any real dirt comes out, this could be really bad for him. This could be really bad for him. Now, we've already talked about the shares. I'm going to start right here. It says on May 1st of 2024, NBC News reported that federal prosecutors were investigating the company for allegations by former employees that Block had failed to conduct basic due diligence on its customers. Square had processed thousands of transactions involving countries subject to economic sanctions, including Cuba. Didn't I say Cuba? I told y'all I did something with Cuba, one in the name, but that was the person's name. And that was last year. But anyway, Cuba, Iran, Russia, and Venezuela. And Block had processed multiple cryptocurrency transactions for terroristic groups. The two NBC News reports corroborated the allegations contained in the Hindenburg report. On this news, the price of Block stock declined 8% in one day, from a close of $73 per share on April 30th of 2024 to close at $66.84 per share on May 1st. Okay. They keep talking about these damn shares, but we gonna have to get this Hindenburg report. Okay, hold on. They start talking about the Hindenburg report. Okay, so right here is where the Hindenburg starts, and that's what we're going to read. On March 23rd of 2003, Hindenburg Research published a report, the Hindenburg report, alleging that Block's explosive growth was driven by the company's willingness to facilitate fraud against consumers and the government, avoid regulations, dress up predatory loans and fees as regulatory technology, and mislead investors with inflated metrics. The Hindenburg report revealed that CashApp was widely used for inter alia, as we've said, all that stuff, eggs trafficking, drug trafficking, consumer scams, COVID-19 relief fraud, and even contract unaliving payments, explaining that CashApp's embrace of non-compliance begins by making it easy for users to get on the platform, easy for them to get back on the platform if their accounts are closed, and easy to remain anonymous or operate under blatantly false identities. The Hindenburg report further detailed interviews from former Block employees who explained that the company systematically suppressed internal and user compliant related and user compliance related to rampant fraudulent and criminal activity on the company's platform. On this news, the price of Block stock declined 15% in one day from the close of $72.65 per share on March 22nd, 2023 to close at $61.88 per share on March 23rd of 2023. So these people, this Hindenburg, let me see if I can find that Hindenburg report real quick for y'all. Cause y'all need that Hindenburg. Cause I want to know, how did they know? How did they go in there and figure this out? Like that's the part right there for me. Like, how did y'all figure this out? That all of this illegal activity was going on. And like, how did they know that how did they know about the contract unalivings? I'm just curious. How did they know that? How did you know? Hold on. I'm about to see if we could get that Hindenburg report up. Let me see what y'all saying while I'm waiting for this daggone thing to open. Is this it? That's it. It opened up. Hold on one second. I still need to see what y'all talking about. Okay. Why is it giving me a hard time? Okay, y'all might not be able to get that. Okay, y'all not saying much. I guess y'all sitting back, y'all driving home and y'all listening. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm a little off. I can admit it. I'm a little off my game. Oh my God. It's not opening my program that I need. Hold on, guys. I'm trying to find this Hindenburg report because we need to know what they said. How I want to know how they found this. Now, I'm gonna tell y'all the reason why I didn't keep going with reading into it is because they talk a lot about the stock and not enough about the case. Okay, but either way it goes, child, Cash App. Yeah, I'm gonna have. I hate when this happens. I can't get what I need. Now I'm mad. Anyway, let's just come back over here. No, there's no trolls in the chat at all. There's nothing to troll me for. Okay, so they started naming some of these board holders, and they said DORSEY beneficially owned 1 million shares in Block. Jay-Z served as a member on the board since May of 2021, according to the company's public filing, and Carter received $289,720 in May of 2023 in compensation from the company. As of May 31st, 2024, defendant Carter beneficially owns 38,073 shares of Class A Block common stock worth roughly $3.1 million. DORSEY's share is roughly worth $81.5 million. Roloff Botha has a stock worth $102.7 million. Child, this is a lot. Yes, we need that Hindenburg report, honey. We gonna find that. but I don't think we're gonna find it tonight. I don't think we're gonna find it tonight because my other program is not working right now. Maybe it's too many windows open. I don't know. So I'm gonna close some of these windows out and see what happens. But in the meantime and in between time, y'all, this is a whole behind mess. I'm not even gonna lie to you. So let's see. Let's recap what we have already covered. We have talked about the Alexander brothers, who were, two of them were real estate moguls, real estate tycoons, we should say, that have now taken up residency in the MDC for their heinous, brutal, and vile acts towards over 60 women spanning over 2 decades of assault. Okay. We have recapped Wack 100 and Jaren Harrison and Jared Milgram in the Rico boys. We updated their Rico cases, where both of them are now sitting and waiting for a judgment, a default judgment, might I add. So both of them are waiting for default judgments. It's going to be interesting. We're going to see what happens. And Jay-Z is being named in this Block Inc. lawsuit because he is a shareholder. And apparently there was a whole lot going on CashApp that we didn't even know about. We didn't even know it. And now if this case continues on with this Block stuff, Jay-Z is going to have to go into court and he's going to have to testify because he's a member on the board, which means that he has a lot to say. So I don't know if I'm going to chop this video up and break it down into videos for y'all. If I'm just going to go and sit and re-record these videos into shorts for y'all and give it to you as a spill, I may do that. I may not. I don't know. I'm a little off today, but I'm good. I'm Gucci Mane. I dropped some hot Henny Mane. So if you able to stick through it, then congratulations to you. Let's see what happens. But anyway, you know, I'm going to keep you up to date on all the hot Henny as it unfolds with all of these legal documents. I also have some more hot Henny coming for y'all. But in the meantime and in between time, y'all be good. How y'all be good? Love is always love, y'all. Thank y'all for all of the love and support. Shout out to the replay gang. And I will see y'all in the next video. Peace, y'all.